What's up guys, it's CJ here with another Back for Blood build. Now before we get into the build, I do want to go over the update just very briefly to state kind of what has been unleashed upon the Ridden from the Back for Blood devs. Now what's included in the update, we have Act 6 of the campaign. If you have the Trial of the Worm DLC, you have the new cleaner called Tala, who is a bow specialist, and it is amazing. The bow is just fantastically broken right now, and I cannot wait to show you the build that we've done with it. They've also added, which is a huge update, attachments for the melee and bow weapons. So the melee build that we did just not too long ago is actually more broken than it ever has been. So I'm super excited to re-go over the build and maybe do some adjustments here and there just to break it even further than it already is. That's all I'm going to cover off for the update now. If you want a full in-depth detailing about the update, what it includes, what it affects, all of the attachments, etc., let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can get that done for you guys before Christmas. Also guys, I just want to say a massive thank you to all of you guys who are supporting me there. On my first melee build, we have just hit just over 2,000 views and we just broke 80 subscribers as well, which is amazing. So guys, if you can, please hit the subscribe button, the like button, let me know what I'm doing right so that I can keep doing it. Hopefully as well, my goal is to reach 100 subscribers by Christmas, so that would be my Christmas dream come true, and I'm sure you guys are up to the task. For now though, let's get on to the build. Okay guys, so as you guys will know, previously we have dubbed some random names for our build. So of course the Ball of Blades, if you've seen the melee build and the shotgun tank. This one, I couldn't find any other name other than the Legolas. Let's be honest, it's the most badass. Legolas is by far one of the best characters in Lord of the Rings. You know, who even cares about Aragorn? Anyway, let's not get into it, okay? So, the Legolas build. Now this build is kind of a mix between decent damage and good sustainability. The reason why is because I've been running this build in no hope difficulty. If you are not interested in no hope difficulty and would prefer to go more damaging, then let me know. I can try and make a second build that is pure damage and something that you can play on something maybe like veteran difficulty or a lower difficulty than no hope. The only reason I have the sustain in there is just for the no hope difficulty, because you need it, frankly. So, as we've done with our previous builds, we are going to go through it in a 5 card basis. So 5, 5, 5, and then with a list at the end. So if you do want to skip to the list at the end, it will be in the description below, the timestamps for each set. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first set of cards is going to be Slugger, Brazen, Adrenaline Fueled, Glass Cannon, and Confident Killer. These, in my opinion, are going to be the main cards that are going to give you your damage and your sustainability when you're firing really fast. So Slugger is going to give you 5% of your health. It's going to give you 10% bow stamina, efficiency, and bow attack speed. Brazen is also going to give you bow stamina, efficiency, and bow attack speed, which does really come in handy when you're getting surrounded by the hordes. Using the bow's hip fire, you can spam shots really quickly. Adrenaline Fueled. When you kill an enemy, gain 5 stamina instantly and an additional 7 stamina over 7 seconds. Now this stacks up to 5 times. It means that when you are surrounded and you are hip fire spamming, you're not going to run out of stamina anytime soon. Glass Cannon is a huge card. So Glass Cannon is going to give you an uplift of 25% damage. It does, however, take away 30% of your health. So just be aware, you are going to be a little squishy. just a tiny squishy. Confident Killer is going to give you a stacking 15% damage upgrade at its max stacks. So every time you kill a mutation, it's going to give you 1% damage uplift each time you do it. Now, if you play on anything over veteran, you're going to come across a mutation every couple of minutes. There's no doubt you'll come across maybe 5 or 6 in the first 3 minutes of the first level. So that buff to your damage is going to be huge. Now, the second set of cards, the first one is Front Sight Focus, Optics Enthusiast, Motorcycle Jacket, Energy Bar, and Cold Brew Coffee. Now, the Front Sight Focus, the main things are for the accuracy, weak spot damage, and aim speed and recoil control. So the overall amount that gives you is really good, because the bow, while you're hip firing, it doesn't seem like it moves all that much, but it does, and that can lead you to put some shots off target. So what I have found is that if you have that little bit of recoil control and a little bit more accuracy, even with the dip in the arc when you're firing, it's going to make sure that you are putting your shots directly in the center rather than to the left or right of where you're aiming, so that when you do aim for that arc, you are definitely going to hit your target as long as you adjust for the arc. Now the second card, Optics Enthusiast, is to reinforce the accuracy. Motorcycle Jacket, as I said previously, this has a little bit of sustainability in it, so it's only for the 5 damage resistance and 5 health that gives you. The Energy Bar, so this one is all about the ability to keep spamming shots. It gives you 30% stamina regen and 5 health. So when you do stop firing that hip fire, you're going to regenerate your stamina 30% faster, which is huge. The Cold Brew Coffee is a bit of a substitute card. You can swap it out for a little bit more damage if you would like to, but the main reason is for if you're wanting to run a primary with the bow. I personally don't, because you have infinite ammo with the bow, so why would you ever need to do anything else? But some people like to run different weapons. For instance, I've seen the Damnation shotgun be dropped quite a lot from the different weapon chests, the white ones, the warped ones. So I would personally run the Damnation because fire damage is great in a shotgun. Who doesn't like incendiary rounds? Let's be honest. So Cold Brew Coffee is good because it gives you the reload speed, the aim speed, the weapon swap speed, and use speed. So all of those are pretty good just to have a bit more on your character. The last 5 cards are going to be your kind of sustainability cards and a little uplift in damage just for the piece de resistance. So the first one is body armor. So as we've seen previously with the tank builds, it's going to give you 20% trauma resistance. Now that's huge for your sustainability, especially as you're going to be healing using the bow. But I'll tell you a bit more about that in a minute. Fresh Bandage. So Fresh Bandage, at the start of each level you're going to recover 15 trauma damage and you're going to recover your health. Then Knowledge is Power. Now Knowledge is Power is for weak spot damage, but also so that you can see the damage that you're dealing to the enemies, and just purely to give you kind of an indication, because with the bow and arrow it can be a little disheartening when you have a tall boy running at you, you're spamming shots into him and he's just not going down. But with this card you're going to be able to see his health bar. Combat Training is going to give you 5% bullet damage. It's going to give you a bit of bullet stumble damage as well. So what that means is when something big is coming at you and you're spamming your shots into it, it has a chance to stumble the target, which can kind of save you in some circumstances. And then lastly is Silver Bullets. Now silver bullets is a 10% uplift in bullet damage and a 15% effective bullet range. Now this is really important because of the arc for the bow. So if you do aim for something far away, you do want to still hit it with the amount of damage that you should do. And that is the full set of 15 cards, guys. As I said before, this build is more about a bit of a sustainability rather than just pure unrivaled damage, which the bow is completely capable of. It is by far one of the most broken now with the different attachments that just came out. So as I've spoken about attachments a little bit, we are going to go a little bit further into depth to go for my recommended attachments for this build, and that's purely because there are certain attachments that in my opinion are just better than other ones. So there are quite a few attachments that you can do. For one, I can't wait to relook at the melee build, but there's one called Steel Reinforcement, and that basically gives an additional damage resistance to your melee weapon or bow. So technically you could do a bow tank build with some damage on it. So if you are interested in other builds, etc., let me know in the comments. Tell me what you're interested in and I'll have a look at it. Some of the ones that we've got coming up, just to let you know about, are the Pyromancer, the Bullet Hose build, which is kind of just a bit of a fun build, and Hungry Heng. So as you guys will have commented on my first video, Hungry Heng, apparently Heng is really good as a melee tank. I don't see it personally, but I'm yet to have a look at it. So what I think is going to be the next thing is, with that kind of build, they've unleashed some new cards in this update that can kind of tie into that as well. So I'm kind of excited for it. It's going to be a funny build. But yeah, the Pyromancer build is one that I'm really looking forward to doing because it's just so cool. Anyway, I got a little sidetracked. Let's go into attachments. So the attachments that I would say for this build, for your bow, that you're going to look for are resonant metals, tactical grip, and titanium spikes. These are the main three attachments that you want to use when running this build. Now the reason why is because resonant metals is going to heal you for each ridden or enemy that you kill. Now at level 1 it is only 1 HP, which doesn't sound like a lot, but the fact that you can spam the bow infinitely without needing to ever worry about ammo does leave a really good opening for you to get some health back. At the top tier level, that's going to give you 3 health back. So that's a purple attachment for resonant metals. It's going to give you 3 HP back every time you kill something, which is huge. The second attachment I would recommend is tactical grip. Now tactical grip is going to give you 10% firepower and 10% bow attack speed. This is really handy for when you are going to be doing those hip fire spam shots, but also for when you do the heavy hit shots as well, as it does affect your drawback speed from what I've experienced so far. At its top tier, it's going to give you 20% firepower and 20% bow attack speed. The third and final one is titanium spikes. Now titanium spikes is amazing as a damage build because of the firepower and damage it gives. So at level 1 it's going to give you 10% increase in firepower and 10% damage on top of what you're already doing. At its top tier it's going to give you 20% of both, which is a massive buff to your damage. So those are the attachments, and let's be honest guys, those attachments are pretty broken. Now there's only one cleaner that you could run this build with. There is no other, and the reason why I say this is because it's the only cleaner that starts with the bow and arrow, guys, and that is Tala. the brand new cleaner that came out in the update. Tala has some unique passives that you need to know about, but they're really cool and really OP. So firstly, anything you attack, if you don't kill it, is going to stop bleeding. So you're going to do damage over time in small ticks, but you are still going to do damage over time. The next one is the fact that you can get a warped chest and a whistle spawn every map. So with that in mind, you can get the potential for legendary weapons on the first map that you load into, which is insane in my opinion. The whistle is probably the coolest item at the moment in my opinion, because it summons Jeff the tall boy. Now Jeff the tall boy is really useful in horde situations. The whistle can be infinitely reused and only goes on a brief cooldown timer while you're in the midst of shooting the Ridden. Now Jeff is great. He doesn't last very long. He does only last about a minute or so, but for that time he does wreak havoc on anything that comes to it. And that's the build, guys. So thank you so much again for all the love and support on YouTube, and of course the new subscribers, welcome to the Undead Scourge, which is the community that I've built over on Twitch and here now on YouTube with the recorded videos and builds and guides and all that stuff. There is a load of content planned. There's content planned for Minecraft, there's content planned for Back 4 Blood, there's content planned for Paragon the Overprime. If you haven't heard about that, that's the latest MOBA to hit Steam. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be able to bring you guys this kind of content. If it is something that you're interested in as well, I am looking to potentially do a Patreon, so if that does interest you, please let me know. Guys, it's been a pleasure. If I don't see you beforehand, I hope you have a very good holiday season, and I shall see you in 2023. Peace out, guys.